Hello, everyone. This is Written in the Stars, the channel that combines astrology and storytelling. Today, we are talking about the planets in astrology, which you may have also come to know as the gods in one of my previous videos. Let's recap a bit and listen to the story. In ancient times, seven gods wandered across 12 heavenly realms, each on a journey to fulfill their divine mission. On their quest, each god carries with them an insignia that announces their presence to the other gods. As the seven gods traverse the sky, they discover other players meddling with them behind the scenes, new gods with incredible powers, and minor gods with varied missions. The gods in this story are the planets, as well as other moving bodies in the sky. There are major gods, the planets, and minor gods, the asteroids. The major gods consist of the seven ancient gods and the three new gods. The ancient gods are the traditional planets of astrology, which are the Sun, the Moon, and the five visible planets Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. The Sun and the Moon are considered planets in astrology, even though technically they aren't. You can think of the term planets as a shorthand for all the important moving objects used in astrology. The new gods in our story, which are Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, are invisible to the naked eye and can only be seen through a telescope. And again, Pluto technically isn't considered a planet anymore, but in astrology, it is still grouped as one of the major gods. Then we have other moving bodies, the minor gods, which are the asteroids. There are a lot of asteroids, but only some are used frequently in astrology. Now, you may wonder what happened to Earth in the system of astrology. And Earth isn't really included in astrology because it is the vantage point from which the movement of the planets is observed. The movement of the Earth is the reason the Sun, which is the center of our solar system, seems to change zodiac signs, not because the Sun actually moves, but because the Earth moves around it. In our story, each of the planets has a mission. Each is an archetypal force that has certain themes and topics connected to it, such as harmony, strife, growth, and limitation. These forces are unfolding in our lives and within ourselves. The gods are the what of astrology, as in, what topic are the gods bringing into our lives? What archetypal force are the gods bringing into our lives? What themes are the gods bringing into our lives? The gods of astrology are living in the heavenly realms, which are the zodiac signs. In a natal chart, which is the chart that gives insight into an individual's life, they are also connected to the spheres of mortal life, which are the astrological houses. These signs and houses show us how and where a topic will unfold in someone's life. However different these placements may be for each individual, what every one of us has in common is that all our lives are touched by the gods. But who are those gods, you're wondering? Let's meet them. At the dawn of days, the King of Gods emerged with rays of beaming sunlight, and, receiving his radiant glow, the Queen of Gods awakened with him. While the chief deity travels the heavenly realms to shine his light with kingly authority, the Queen of Gods seeks to find a home from where she can safely look at the world. Here we have the rulers of heaven, the sun and the moon. They are the king and the queen of the planets, and as such, they are the most important planets in anyone's chart. The sun deals with creating our identity. The moon deals with our internal life and perception of reality. We will talk about the meanings of each god in future videos, but these are the basic concepts of the sun and the moon. These two, the king and the queen of the sky, are also called the luminaries in astrology because of their ability to emit and receive light. Next comes the king's entourage, the messenger god, swift-footed, who distributes knowledge among the gods, the goddess of desire, fair-faced, who seeks to harmonize between the gods, so each can get what they crave, and finally, god of strife, red-handed, who fights for what he wants even if he seeks war among the gods. These three, the entourage of the Sun, are Mercury, Venus, and Mars. They are personal planets because the way we think and communicate about things, as well as what we desire and what motivates us, are personal to everyone. Mercury deals with our thoughts and our communication, while Venus deals with our desires and the way we seek pleasure. Mars, on the other hand, deals with conflict and willpower. In his pantheon, the king of gods keeps two advisors, the god of wisdom and the god of structure. Faith-hearted, the god of wisdom provides opportunities for the king to expand his horizons, to hope for something more, while stern-faced, the god of structure keeps the king in check with rules won through hard experience. The king's advisors are Jupiter and Saturn. While Jupiter deals with expansion and growth on an internal level through wisdom and on an external level through abundance and golden opportunities, Saturn deals with limitations and restrictions through laws and regulations. These two are called the social planets because their topics are concerned with how we connect with others, where we include others or exclude others. On a more technical level, they are social planets because they stay in the same zodiac sign longer than the personal planets and thus make them more group oriented. For example, Jupiter stays in one sign for about 1 year. This means that most of the people you've been in a school class with would have had the same Jupiter sign. The seven gods rule the sky for many centuries, until one day new gods appear and bring their influence into the heavenly realms. The rebel god, lightning struck, seeks to bring change to heaven and plunges the realm into chaos, while the goddess of illusion, mist veiled, dissolves the borders of the realm. And lastly, the god of transformation, shadow forged, unearths all secrets hidden in the realms. Here we are meeting the new gods. Unlike the visible planets, they were discovered later with the use of telescopes. They are Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Uranus, our rebel god, deals with radical change for the sake of gaining freedom, while Neptune is all about experiences beyond physical reality, whether that be spirituality, artistic imagination, or deep compassion. Pluto, the transformer, is all about bringing hidden things to the surface. This new knowledge will change who we are. He is the phoenix that rises from the ashes. They are the collective planets. They stay in one sign for multiple years. Rather than saying things about us as individuals, they indicate the qualities of the time around which we were born. These planets can be linked to different periods in history. However, depending on how these planets interact with more personal planets, such as Mercury or Venus, they can show up differently in our own lives. These combinations show how certain time periods affect us on an individual level. Let's look at the nature of the gods. Amongst mortals, some gods are revered while others are scorned. The king and queen are held in awe for their shining light. Loved equally are the goddess of desire and the god of wisdom, for they bring pleasure and abundance upon mortals. The messenger god, trickster that he is known to be ambiguous, delivering messages of all kinds depending on the gods he associates with, while the gods of strife and structure are held in disdain, for they bring war and hardship. But the gods, old and new alike, know this: it is for the gods to follow their nature, and for mortals to do with it what they will, for their benefit, for their demise. So let's unpack this story. This story has two parts: how the planets were viewed in traditional astrology and how they are viewed now. In traditional astrology, the sun and the moon were generally considered good, but the best planets were Venus and Jupiter. Mercury was neutral, while Saturn and Mars were considered bad. This is because some planets are about stuff that is more pleasant, like Venus being about what we desire, while other planets are about stuff we generally find unpleasant, like Mars being all about conflict and war. There's a lot of value judgment about the planets in traditional astrology, where Mars and Saturn were considered to bring a lot of bad. In modern astrology, planets can have positive and negative influences depending on the situation. For example, Mars may bring conflict, which is generally unpleasant, but in some instances, you really want to fight for what is yours. And in this situation, Mars needs to be on your side. Each planet offers good and bad qualities, with which positive and negative outcomes can be achieved. Because I consider both traditional and modern astrology, I think it is best to recognize that on a archetypal level, the planets just signify what is without any value judgment. Desire simply is desire, and conflict simply is conflict. In our lives, it is the context that makes them good or bad. The context may be the personal ideas we have about certain topics, or how society in general views some topics, such as conflict or desire. In traditional astrology, the planets that are regarded as positive are called benefics, while the ones that are regarded as negative are called malefics. The pantheon of the seven gods is divided into two. On one side is the radiant king, advised by the god of wisdom and the god of structure. On the other is the glowing queen, supported by the goddess of desire and the god of strife. The messenger god, ambiguous as he is, can choose his side. This is another classification from traditional astrology, which is called sect. One team, the solar one, represents the sun, while the lunar one represents the moon. The day team consists of the sun, Jupiter, and Saturn, while the night team consists of the moon, Venus, and Mars. As in the story, Mercury can belong to either the sun or the moon, depending on where exactly it is placed in the natal chart. Each group contains one ruler of heaven, either the king or queen, But each team also has one god that is celebrated, a benefic, and one god that is feared, a malefic. Each natal chart is ruled by either the king or the queen, and their team becomes especially important. If the sun is atop the horizon line, this means that during our time of birth it was daylight, thus we belong to the day team. If the sun is below the horizon line, this means that during our time of birth it was night, thus we belong to the night team. The celebrated benefic god that belongs to our chart's team is likely to be the most positive planet for us. The topics of the planet are likely to be comfortable and lucky for us. The malefic planet that does not belong to our team becomes our worst planet. He can bring the most difficult experiences into our lives. If your chart belongs to the day team, Jupiter will be the best planet for you, and themes such as wisdom and abundance may be prevalent in your life and bring you the most luck, while the planet Mars will be the worst planet for you. Things such as conflict and strife may be the sources of great difficulty in your life. If your chart is a night chart, then Venus is the best planet in your life, and your desires and values may bring you the most luck. The planet Saturn will be your worst planet, and topics such as limitations and hardships may bring you a lot of difficulty in life. This is it for today's video. Now, let me know in the comment section which team is in charge of your life. Is it the day team or the night team? If you like the video, you can also leave a like. And if you want more, please subscribe to the channel. And if you want to go straight ahead and watch another of my videos, you can take a look at the video where I explain the different components of the astrological language.